They would not
Mr.
take from.
Mr.
Yeah,
H, wait. What you
yeah,
just said,
yeah,
what you just said sums
yeah,
up everything both you and Pastor Finch have been saying. What you just said, you sum it up because you see, sometimes I don't know if you follow me when I go on live on Instagram. I'm always hard on how you should raise your children. And I keep telling parents, your children are not your friends. They're technically not your friends. When you've raised them properly and they are above 18 and they are standing on their own, then they can become your friends. But at that time, while they are under your legal supervision, you are there to set standards, train them, discipline them. Very, very important. There's no culture, except from Western culture now, that allows for parents to allow their children to do whatever you like and expect government to raise your kids. It's crazy. All the people in prison, they are all products of bad, not majority of them, not all of them. Sorry, I don't want to give an absolute statement. But majority of people you find in prison are people who didn't know any better. They were allowed to operate freely and do whatever it is they are like without consequences. You need to start teaching a child what consequence means. You do wrong, you get the result instantly. If your child already understands that if he or she misbehaves, there's going to be a punishment for it or consequence, there's the likelihood that they'll think thoroughly before they do something crazy. And this is what we're lacking in society. The media is teaching us that we should allow our kids to do whatever they like. That that if you punish them, you are bullying them. How can you be bullying? And when you don't do this, at the end of the day, prison is calling, jail time is calling. The police will be there. So this is why we are here to have this discussion. But continue. Sorry, the way you discipline your children now that they are with you is very important in keeping them away from prison. And
Yes.
I can liken it to this. If at the time your children are under your supervision, you
Hmm.
don't fail to understand what consequences of their bad deeds, or you reward every bad deed they do. If
Yes.
you don't do it, the police and the prison system will do it for them later on. If you don't do it now, you don't, because there's something you need to understand. If a child does not have fear for authority, for you are the first authority the child knows.
Exactly.
Does not understand how to fear and respect you. You're not, see, parents, your children are not your friends. We need to stop this nonsense we keep doing. They are not your friends. They can only become your friends when you've properly trained them and executed proper discipline in their upbringing, and they turn 18 and they leave your house. Then you can become friends. But they are not your friends under your supervision. We need to stop this nonsense we keep doing, because at the end of the day, you now find that in prison, you now find that they will be forced to submit to authority in prison, because you see that children who don't have this kind of training, they don't have respect for they don't have general respect for adults. They don't have respect for any constituted authority, be it police or any government function. They see everybody as people they can step over and get away with it. This is not what we want for our children.
Well, a
At
lot of people are scared of correcting, especially when the children are very young. You have to start instilling, you know, boundaries and disciplines. And, some people are scared to correct their kids because they feel the kid is young. They don't want, I'm not talking about brutalizing the child or beating the life out of the child, but, you affirm to the child, you cannot have this, and no matter how they throw their tantrums and cry, you see some parents, sorry, no, 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 here, don't cry. You don't do that. That means the kid has already learned how to manipulate you. I'm very big. I love kids, I play with them and whatnot, but I'm very big on discipline. When I say no, I mean no. You cannot have it and you will not have it. And if you're going to cry, I will put you to sit down and you cry. You get over it, and then you realize, you know what, this one, I can't manipulate this one or have my way with this one. I have a friend who is having that same problem. she has an issue disciplining her kid. Single mothers have that issue. Oh, because I don't want to, the father
It's
is
not
not
just
around.
women.
Oh,
It,
overcompensation.
it, it's not just women. We also have men who are lousy parents too. It's just, in fact, it's a modern thing. It's okay. You know what? Because we are rushing with time, let's quickly allow Sister Buki speak.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she's
Sorry.
been waiting. Okay,
Hi.
okay, okay. Finally, we see you.
Hi. Um, it's a very sad reality of our generation, and as we speak, more and more prisons are being erected all over the world, and that is because there is an agenda to use the prison system to break the psyche of men, most especially men. I concur with everything that has been said about discipline in the home. But discipline can't be properly enforced in a home without fathers present. Fatherless, majority of people in prison have come from fatherless homes, and mothers, to the best of their ability, they can only do what they can. But there is a reason why the the godly structure requires the presence of the man in the home as the head, and especially with young men, they need the presence of their fathers. So there's a greater agenda, through the destruction of the family unit, to incarcerate people, most especially, you know, the black man. Now, discipline is one thing, but discipline without the fear of God is 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 the correct prescription. You could this ordinary discipline can only go so far, but the fear of God, the fear of the Creator, is the beginning of wisdom. We are told that. And so, because of the time that we live in a lawless time, in a time where morals have been eroded. Why? Because there's been a great shift away from God, away from the ways and the things of God. And, a lot of people nowadays don't even want to entertain the idea of God, because the Bible, what the Bible does is gives a set of instructions that guides, you know, our morality. And sin really is the absence of morality. That's what sin is. Yeah, when we go astray, when we do things wrong, is because our moral code is not adequately in place. So this is not a problem that is going to get any better. In fact, it's only going to get worse, because the world is moving away from God at an alarming pace, and it's only going to be a handful of people that will be standing and championing, the right way to do things. It's hugely important. I'm a mother to 5 kids, so without discipline, it's difficult to do that job. But without man in the home to help, because for a lot of the time I was a single parent, and I found that as a mother, I might have to repeat things 2, 3, 4 times, before the children hear what is being said. But when the father spoke once, the authority and the heavy vibration of the voice commands authority immediately, and they tend to listen. So for everything that I've said, it's just to point out that the genesis of the journey to prison begins in the home, and in a larger way, due to the absence of fathers in the home. This is why a lot of our young people, both men and women, end up in prison. Girls that grow up without their fathers develop daddy issues and end up, following the wrong kinds of men, and getting into trouble. The same way, the young men without a father in the home, they don't have any compass of what masculinity is, and the value and the worth of being a man, and all of that. So yeah, that's just my contribution.